over the past little bit, but still the warning is continuing. So if you are in the path of this storm, still treat it as if it is still a tornado on the ground.
So if you're just joining us tonight, you may be joining us for your 7 o'clock news. The reason why we are in coverage right now is that we have tornado warnings that have been issued. We had a tornado warning between 6 and 6:30. We're also in tornado warning coverage right now. As soon as the warning is allowed to expire, we will get into your evening news coverage.
And we now have a second tornado warning that was just issued. It's right on the border of North and South Carolina, Horry County and southwestern Brunswick County near the Calabash area. If we take a look at the latest velocities on that, if you can look, I think this is because, Lee, if you look offshore, a very strong signature velocity-wise. So potentially this actual rotation hasn't made it on lane yet, but the National Weather Service is confident it will. So a tornado warning for northeastern sections of Horry County and southwestern sections of Brunswick County.
And you can kind of see some of the communities that may be impacted by this. Atlantic Beach, the Calabash area. If you're in Calabash, you're in this tornado warning, go ahead and get in your safe place right now. Carolina Shores, which of course is a little bit south of our area, and Little River. So yeah, a small portion of southwestern Brunswick County now under this tornado warning. Now this tornado warning is going to run until 7:30 this evening. And let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit on this, and we'll kind of try to find what Matthew was talking about here.
Yeah, if you look at that velocity, still really kind of off the coast right now.
And there it is right now. We'll kind of draw a line to show you how far off the coast it is. So offshore, it's only about 5 miles.
Yeah, very close.
So it's, did we get a movement on this, Matthew?
North at 35.
So this thing is going to very quickly move on shore. Let's say over the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, not very long.
It's not going to take long at all. So if you're in southwestern portions of Brunswick County, if you're under that warning we just showed you, you need to go ahead and get into your safe place now, because this is a very strong signature of a waterspout. That is about 5 miles offshore the Horry County and also Brunswick County coast. Let's also go backwards here a little bit and show you, again, this is the other tornado warning that is in place. You can see this runs, I believe, until 7:15. Let's go ahead and,
that's
7:15. It's still in effect for Bowling Spring Lakes and Bolivia. And you can see it also does include the Funston area. So this is the initial tornado warning that we broke in with. And we'll go ahead and take a look. This is not, it definitely has broadened out. This is not a particularly strong signal. And the one I was watching to the north near Town Creek, neither one of these are particularly.
They both kind of broadened out a bit.
They have. And matter of fact, I'll quickly show these. This was the one that was much stronger 15 minutes ago. This is sort of a weak circulation that's west of Town Creek. So those were the two circulations we're watching. And then going back down, the tornado warning that was posted for southwestern Brunswick County, it's because of this. As you said, this is a very tight rotation associated with a potential waterspout that is probably about 4 miles offshore the Horry County coast. This is the warning that the Weather Service put out. It includes North Myrtle Beach, and it also includes a small portion of Brunswick County, southern and southwestern portions of Brunswick County.
Yeah, and if we put the storm track on that too, moving north at about 35 miles per hour, it might be a waterspout right now, but it has a very good chance of making it onto shore if it holds together. Calabash, Bug Hill, you're on the path of this cell, so be in your safe place right now. Even though it might not be on shore just yet, treat it as if it will and make its way towards your community.
A couple of things I want to do. I want to go right now to a live shot. Now, this is from North Myrtle Beach. Now, we have a lot of wind and a lot of rain falling in North Myrtle Beach tonight. I showed you that circulation that's about 4 miles offshore of North Myrtle Beach. It's moving, we said, to the north and to the northwest very quickly. We said about 35 miles per hour. So this thing is going to be moving very close to the coast. And those folks who are under that tornado warning, in southwestern Brunswick County, you need to go ahead and get in your safe place right now. But I just wanted to mention a couple of things as you look at these images from North Myrtle Beach. It's that, folks, we have a tropical storm, as you know, heading our way tonight, and it's going to pass by early tomorrow morning. Winds are going to go up. We've been talking for the past hour and a half about these isolated tornadoes, but let's not forget the other things that we're going to be seeing tonight. Winds are going to be coming up very dramatically as we head into time. Matter of fact, winds later tonight, 30, 40, maybe even gusting to 50 miles per hour as that circulation gets close to the Cape Fear early tomorrow morning. In addition to that, very heavy rain. This is the latest live Storm Track 3 Doppler radar, and you can see most everybody getting rain right now. Matter of fact, here at our studios, I just heard a
very
blast
loud
of thunder.
clap of thunder.
And that's not a good thing, because what that means is the atmosphere is getting a little bit more unstable. And as it does so, that tends to create more opportunities for seeing sustained cells that move on shore and are able to, grow and rotate and possibly produce isolated tornadoes. So that's not a particularly good thing tonight. So we're going to see a lot of rain. We're going to see increasing winds. You see that, or at least you saw that with that North Myrtle Beach cam. Thank you very much, guys, for bringing that up. And so let's go ahead, zoom this back out, and show you 2 tornado warnings are in effect for the Cape Fear right now. Just a quick, mention. Let's just remind folks about some of the things that they should be doing this evening, if you're in that tornado warning area. Matthew, you want to take that?
Yeah, if you're in the path of either one of these tornado warnings, right now I would say the more kind of threatening looking one is just offshore of Horry County, but go to the lowest floor of your home, not a second floor, the lowest floor of your home. If you have a basement, not a lot of us do, if you have a basement, go to that, get in an interior hallway or bathroom, anything like that, to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Protect your head from flying debris, and also stay away from windows, as that debris could kind of fly through the windows as the storms move through.
So we've been talking about Brunswick County this evening, and those those storms and the rain and the wind moving in. This is a live look for our friends down at Shallow Point. Look at this camera. Rain, wind. We are really watching rough conditions evolving on the Brunswick County coast this evening. So just a reminder for folks tonight, I know you're watching, you may be wishing, that you could go out and maybe do some things tonight. Maybe you had plans that were taking you out this evening. Just go ahead and stay home tonight. If you don't have to travel, don't. We have an approaching tropical storm. We have some areas of rotation. I mean, this camera at Shallow Point is enough to make, it's trucking. The winds are trucking, and we're going to see these rough conditions developing tonight and continuing tomorrow morning, wind and rain and isolated tornadoes. And the high tide occurs around 8 o'clock this evening, and so we're talking about the high water coming in with possible coastal flooding near the shoreline as well. So a lot of things, a lot of working parts happening this evening in terms of the overall forecast.
Yeah, even if you're not seeing a tornado warning for your given area, very heavy rain across the entire Cape Fear. Flooding is possible, so not a good idea to be out there on the roadways, ponding on roadways. Very strong winds, as our sky cam down Shallow Point showed. And this rotation just off the Horry County coast is getting very close now to making its way towards shore. I would say a mile or two until it really begins to push its way onshore.
So I have on the screen right now the 2 tornado warnings that we currently have in effect. They are in effect for Brunswick County. One is in effect for eastern portions of, southeastern portions of the county. This includes Bowling Spring Lakes and also the Bolivia area. This is in effect for another, it looks like 6 minutes to be determined if it's extended or not. But again, if you're in that area, Bowling Spring Lakes, Bolivia, and southeastern portions of Brunswick County, if you're not already in your safe place, go ahead and get there. The newer warning that is issued, and this is for southwestern Brunswick County, it includes the Calabash area. This is in effect until 7:30 this evening. So watching 2 distinct circulations that created that, or those warnings.
And that one off the coast of Horry County probably right now is the most impressive looking rotation we're seeing in the Cape Fear area. Those rotation areas in eastern sections of Brunswick County kind of broadened out over the past little bit, still holding that warning for the next 5 minutes for southeastern sections of Brunswick County, but southwestern sections of Brunswick County and northeastern sections of Horry County. Take a look at that hook.
That is
on
very,
Storm Track
very
3
impressive.
radar.
I was just looking at this, that weak echo region and that sort of hook indication. I feel very, very confident. There is definitely a water spout offshore, and this is just offshore now.
Likely very soon becoming a tornado as it moves on land.
Absolutely. Now, this would move into Horry County, and as you we'll kind of zoom in and show you. So this is going to move in north of Cherry Grove Beach, and then it's going to track more or less to the north and to the northwest. And so, you know, it would be heading in the general direction of Calabash. So
Yeah, I would say Calabash and really right along Highway 17, where it crosses from South Carolina into North Carolina, anywhere around there, and points to the west of that, pretty much Iredell, right where it comes across the border. That's the place it's right now in the immediate path of that rotation. Very strong rotation that has held together over the past 10 or 15 minutes since that initial warning was issued. It's getting very close to moving onshore, and like Lee said, initially Horry County, but then crossing across very close to Calabash, right along Highway 17 and Highway 179, where it kind of splits off there towards Calabash.
So here's a circulation right here. It's moving to the north at around 30 miles per hour. So that's what we're watching right along the coast now in Horry County. Now let me get that off your screen, and then let me go ahead and show you a storm track. So moving north at 30, and here is approximate forward motion. We're going to have to expand that out, I think, a little bit. So moving north at 30. And let's try to make that a little bit bigger here. And I want to show you how quickly. So moving in the general direction of Calabash around 7:17. So this is a possible arrival time. If you're in Calabash and you're under this tornado warning, go ahead and get in your safe place now, out ahead of this. And so if it does hold together, that you'll be in your safe place. But again, 7:17 is sort of the estimated time right now, based on the forward motion that it may reach into the Calabash area. And then you can kind of see moving forward into potentially right along that line between Columbus County and also Brunswick County.
And like we've talked about in the past too, just because the cell is supposed to get to your community at a certain time, don't wait until that time to get in your safe place. Be in your safe place right now. Watch us on the Storm Track 3 weather app live stream, because these cells have really been quickly rotating as they push their way towards Horry County. The latest run of Storm Track 3 radar has that potential rotation right on the border, right along the coastlines, and as it races off towards the north at about 30 to 35 miles per hour, seeing places between Little River and Calabash, right along, like Lee said, that Columbus and Brunswick County line, seeing the immediate threats from this rotation that has remained pretty strong. We saw it offshore about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and it's really held together. A lot of these cells that kind of try to broaden out as they make their way towards the coast, but this one has really held strong since that initial warning.
You know, 2 or 3 hours ago, we were watching rotation offshore, and it was trending to weaken as it moved off to the east. But as we have moved into times, you know, those cells that were trying to weaken as they moved onshore have definitely started to hold themselves together pretty well. So right now we have those heavy bands moving across southern parts of Brunswick County. Everybody in the Cape Fear getting those heavier rains. Just a reminder, we have a tornado watch. It's in effect through 10 o'clock this evening. It includes Columbus County, Brunswick County, also into New Hanover and Pender County. So these are tornado watches that are in effect for the area, in addition to the 2 tornado warnings that we have. So we have a couple of warnings, but everybody in the shaded areas here in red under that watch, meaning potential for additional tornadoes and tornado warnings through the evening hours. The watch is up till 10 o'clock tonight, but it may be expanded as we move along through the evening hours. We're also under tropical storm warnings in effect for the area. Those will continue tonight into tomorrow morning. Flood watches are in effect. So we're seeing a variety variety of impacts from Tropical Storm Idalia, which is continuing to track out of Georgia and into South Carolina. And it has been producing some very heavy downpours and also the risk for those isolated tornadoes.
Yeah, you probably heard our emergency alerts go off. That was because they now have a tornado warning for our area here in Brunswick County. They continue that warning. It includes places like Town Creek, Landvale, Leland, and also Northwest. If you're on the path of this storm anywhere inside this red box here, make sure you take shelter because this storm has a history of producing tornadoes across much of southwest or southeastern sections of Brunswick County. Let's take a look at velocity. This would be right here to the east of Town Creek. A lot of these cells, we've seen the correlation efficient go down as the tornado warnings are issued. Really not seeing that right now with this, but quick spinning up of these cells will likely continue as that pushes off north and northeast.
So where exactly, as we take a look, we're looking at Highway 17. We're looking at northern parts of Brunswick County. So you see Bell Swamp, Winnebago, Town Creek, and Bishop. And so you see where this red indicates airflow that is outgoing, the green, which is airflow ingoing. So right here is the indicator that we have some rotation. So you can kind of see just to the east of the Town Creek area. I'm going to kind of try to zoom in really close to show you that it's not far away from Gordon Lewis Drive Southeast, Governor's Road, in the Winnebago area. That is a concern area right now. And moving upwards, where you need to really be taking cover is Town Creek into the Bishop area, and you can kind of see some of the communities that are out ahead of this cell. Matthew, do we have a forward movement on this?
This would be moving, let's see, north at 25 miles per hour.
So let's go ahead and track this very near Town Creek, just to the east, moving north at 25.
North at 25.
So let's go ahead and zoom in and show you this. And you can see near Landville at around 723, Leland at 734, Phoenix 741, and the Montague area around 808. So a rotation being indicated by Doppler radar, a new tornado warning as Matthew mentioned, and here is the outline for that tornado warning right here. It includes, as we go down to the southern edge of the box, it includes Bell Swamp, Funston, Town Creek. And this is really sort of the same rotation area that was in southeastern Brunswick County, which continues to kind of, it broadens out, then it tightens back up. And this is very typical for, tropical system type tornadoes. They can be very fast spinners and spin up and then kind of wind their way down and then go right back up.
Yeah, you can easily have a tornado drop down, do some damage, and then go back up into that storm itself. But right now, seeing that rotation tighten up just a bit to the east of Highway 17, right along the Town Creek area, making its way towards Bishop, right on Highway 17 as you make your way out of the southeastern section of the county. This is that same area rotation that has really been kind of indicating several tornado warnings over the past few hours in sections of Brunswick County. Still keeping eyes on the extreme southwestern portion of Brunswick County as well, just south and southeast, right across the border in South Carolina from Calabash. Still a very strong rotation with that cell pushing off to the north.
Look how fast that possible waterspout to tornado moved across northeast part of Horry County and is now approaching Calabash. If you're watching us in Calabash right now, that circulation is right over top of you. You need to be in your safe place if you're not already there. Again, that circulation, look at this right here. I'm going to go ahead and draw this in. Calabash, right in the center of town, is where we have that possible rotation. Ocean Harbor Golf Club, Carolina Shores Drive. You can see up to the north, heading in the direction of Carolina Farms Boulevard. A lot of times you can't really see it if you look at reflectivity.
Yeah.
So here's what we're looking at, reflectivity.
You don't really see it on there, but velocity really tells the story with these cells.
These are so oftentimes rain wrapped. Mm-hmm. It's not really easy to see until they get up right on you. The sun is going to be setting here shortly, so that's not even a good situation as it is when you have these nighttime tornadoes, which are very concerning. But the velocity tells us everything. It's not necessarily the reflectivity, and the velocity is painting a signature right now, right around and just north of the Calabash area. Folks need to be taking cover here right now. And remember, I've been saying this throughout the afternoon and the evening, at least reminding folks, mobile homes are not a safe place to be when we're talking about tornadoes. You need to be in a sturdy structure. And so if you're watching us tonight from portions of these tornado watch areas, because we've had a history of rotation, we've had a history of detection of these rotation fields picking up debris in Brunswick County, my advice, if you can do so, go ahead and find a little bit of a sturdier shelter, at least while this tornado watch is in place. And of course, the 2 tornado warnings as well.
Yeah, 2 separate ones right across on the other side of the county from the other one. The one here in southwestern sections of Brunswick County, seeing places like Calabash down to the west, right along Highway 179. If you are between the South Carolina and North Carolina border and off towards the east, towards Calabash, right on 179, be in your safe place. All these roads and communities in the path, Carolina Shores, you're in path of this storm as well.
So Matthew's going to take care of the storm over northwestern portions of Brunswick County. I'm going to take care of the storm that is moving near the Calabash area. So let's go back to Max 1. And so here is the tornado warning that's in effect. So this is in effect for southwestern portions of Brunswick County. You can see it includes the Calabash area where that circulation center is very near. It also includes area to the north of that, Idalia, all the way up into southwestern portions of Columbus County. We can kind of zoom in and show you it includes Cedar Bay. And so this is in effect, as I click on our tag here, includes portions of Brunswick County, portions of Horry County, and it is going to run until 7:30 this evening. As we go back and we look at velocities, we're seeing that perhaps not as tight a signature as it was 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago.
It was
very tight and indicating of a potential strong water spout offshore.
Yeah,
came on shore, still had pretty strong signatures of a possible tornado in northeastern Horry County. We still have broad rotation, and these things can tighten up. It's sort of loosened up a little bit now, but it can tighten back up and at any point, and it could still be producing a tornado. So go ahead and make sure to take cover again in the Calabash area, moving north at around 25 miles per hour. And let me kind of draw in a track here. Yeah. And so these are some of the communities out ahead of it, and you can kind of see, these are smaller towns, and now we're getting up into, in the northern edge of that, getting up into parts of Columbus County, whether it holds together or not, but Reagan, Reeves, and also Riverview.
Yeah, but what you were talking about with the fact that a lot of these really tighten up, indicate that possible tornado, and then kind of broaden out. We saw that with the cell in eastern sections of Brunswick County over the past little bit, kind of tightening up once again, broadening out again. So these cells will continue to do that over the next several hours. Right now, the tornado warning in northeastern sections of Brunswick County does include places like Leland, like Northwest. Northwest, you are on the extreme northern section of that warning, but you are in the red box nonetheless to be in your safe place as that cell works its way off towards the north at about 25 miles per hour. Right now, seeing the tightest rotation be just to the east of Highway 87 near Grayson Parkway, Bishop right to the west of you guys, Town Creek Road northeast, and that's going to move north, eventually impacting places like Highway 87, very near, if not just to the west of Highway 140, and then north towards places like Malmo, Highway 74, Sandy Creek. Places like that will continue to see this rotation move its way towards your area, because this cell has kind of had a history of producing a possible tornado across the southeastern sections of the county. Again, you likely hear our alerts going off. We're currently in that tornado warning box ourselves. The station is on the extreme eastern side of that, but places like Town Creek, you are right now under the gun from this cell in northeastern Brunswick County.
And so they have added a new tornado warning. And so we have 3 tornado warnings in place right now. It is a very, very active
very busy
Wednesday evening. So I'm going to show you the broad view. Here are 3 warnings. The warning we've been talking about over southwestern portions of Brunswick County. The new warning now includes the city of Wilmington. If you are in the city of Wilmington, you are under a tornado warning. And let's get some detailed information on this. So it is New Hanover County and then covers parts of northeastern Brunswick County. Thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado just offshore of Carolina Beach. Now this is moving north at 30 miles per hour. This is radar indicated rotation. As I have up here, areas that are in this new tornado warning. Carolina Beach, you need to be taking safe shelter right now because we have rotation that is approaching your area. It also includes the Castle Hayne area, Hyattsville into the Kings Grant area, but it does include the Wilmington area. So this is a new tornado warning that has been issued. Now I'm going to try to zoom in, and we will try to take a look. Boy, look at this. Here is what they are seeing and the reason for the new tornado warning. A circulation that is rotating, possible waterspout. And so this would be a possible waterspout to tornado scenario here. I'm going to try to show you exactly how far it is offshore from Carolina Beach. If you're watching right now, this is situated 1 mile offshore of Carolina Beach. That is what is creating the new tornado warning that includes Carolina Beach into the Myrtle Grove area and Wilmington. This is going to be moving onshore very quickly.
If we can take a look at Max 2 just north of Old Town, seeing a very good indication of rotation there, and also right on the correlation coefficient just to the east of Highway 133, east of Southern Boulevard southeast. You are under the gun right now from this tornado warning. This is places like right along and east of Highway 133 moving north towards places like Liberty Landing Road, Egret Nest Circle, Black Bear House southeast, and Big Buck Trail. A very clear indication potentially of some debris with this very strong circulation just north and northwest of Old Town Road, and additionally to that cell offshore of Carolina Beach.
We have multiple cells right now. We're
Tons of rotation.
And folks, we really need to take this seriously tonight. If you are in one of these areas, now I'm going to zoom this out, and I'm going to show you all of the areas under tornado warnings. If you are under any of these communities that are under red, and I'll tell you, there we go, bringing it back to Max 1, you need to go ahead and take cover right now because we are seeing these little couplets of strong rotation indicative of a potential waterspout that is approaching Carolina Beach right now. That's why the warning was issued for Carolina Beach all the way across a good bit of New Hanover County. That cell is right near the Carolina Beach shore. So if you're watching in Wilmington right now, it is well to your southeast. But I just want to make sure folks in Wilmington are paying attention to this. It's not over top of the city, but as this moves to the north, it's going to be approaching some of these areas like Myrtle Grove and like Wilmington as we go into the next 15 to 20 minutes. In addition to that, we have that strong cell Matthew was talking about.
Yeah, and they just discussed it in the National Weather Service chat. 2 potential tornadoes, one near the Cape Fear River, 5 miles south of Leland, and the second one just offshore of Carolina Beach, both moving north at 25 miles per hour.
Okay, so I have reflectivity up on Max 1, and I'm going to draw in the 2 areas, and you can actually see these areas on reflectivity. That's alarming. Yeah. So let me draw a line of an area where, look at this.
I would argue that's the best signature so far.
I would absolutely agree. So if you are in northern parts of Brunswick County, if you are in the communities that Matthew mentioned under this tornado warning, take cover right now. And let me kind of show you the velocity. Look at this. This is a serious velocity signal.
Very tight couplet, correlation coefficient showing possible debris as well.
You need to be taking cover right now. If you are in Stafford, Dale Drive, Jockeys Creek Lane, Burnett Boulevard, this cell is not far at all away from the the Devassa area, Woodburn. Notice Wilmington. Matter of fact, I am going to try to draw a line. We've got so many cells to track.
Yeah, there's so many going on.
I appreciate everybody's patience with us tonight because we're trying to track multiple cells that are rotating tonight. Please take these tornado warnings seriously. This is, let's try to zoom in on this, which is south and west of Wilmington.
And that's the only one showing the possibility of debris right now.
Okay, so we have possible correlation coefficient debris. Do we have a movement on this? Is it north at about...
They said both cells are moving north at 25 miles per hour.
Okay, so let me get really quick right now a forward motion on this. So approximate times, if this holds together, it would be near the Wilmington area around 7:30, 7:32. So this thing is moving very, very quickly. If you were in the city of Wilmington, can we take the Wilmington Skycam really, really quickly? City of Wilmington, again, this is moving in your direction. Right now, you need to be in your safe place, and it includes the lowest floor of your home. It includes areas away from windows. You want to get as many walls in between you and the outside. I want to go ahead and see everybody in the Wilmington area taking cover right now as this very strong area of rotation rapidly approaches the city. I'm kind of looking at the Skycam to see if we see any rotation, but we may very well be seeing some rotation moving across. We're looking, I believe, north right now. So going back to Max 1. So again, this is the track. What we're seeing, I'm going to draw in, and Matthew, while I'm working on this, work on the tornado or the water spout that is possibly approaching Carolina Beach.
So this potential water spout that could become a tornado is moving very close now to the shore of New Hanover County near Carolina Beach. Carolina Beach Avenue North, places like Oceana Highway, Georgia Avenue, Florida Avenue, right offshore, a potential water spout making its way towards the north at about 25 or 20 miles per hour. And as it does so, places impacted. Let's put a track on this one as well. Let's zoom out just a little bit here. So we have this one moving north at 25 miles per hour. Let's take that off because zoom out a bit. These cells are moving very fast and drop tornadoes potentially very quickly as well. So like Lee said, Myrtle Grove, Masonboro, Kings Grant, and if it holds together, the extreme northern sections of New Hanover County, Castle Hayne in the next 50 minutes or so. Not only that cell, but the one Lee's tracking just in the eastern portion of Brunswick County.
Let's go back to Max 1 because I'm tracking that one for you. Here it is on Max 1, and folks, this is a well-defined rotation signal, very likely producing a tornado. Matter of fact, I want to take you, so let's, here's who's getting impacted. Jockeys Creek Lane, it is just to the east of Saffordale Drive. Look how close this is to the city of Wilmington. I'm going to draw a line in to get your attention here. This is how close it is, 3 miles to the southwest of the city of Wilmington. It is not far. Folks, if you are in the city of Wilmington, it's going to brush, I think, sort of the western portions along the Cape Fear River and maybe into far north and east portions of Brunswick County. So there's the rotational signal. Now watch this. I just took a look at correlation coefficient, a clear signal.
It is still showing a sign of debris.
This is a clear signal of debris, and I'm going to show you where the debris from this tornado is, and it is very close to 133. Black Bear. I guess this is hollow. I'm not quite sure, but 133. And this right here. So we really got to pay close attention to this. Now let me very quickly zoom back out, show you all of the warnings. So the tornado warning for southwestern portions of Brunswick County has been allowed to expire. So right now we have 2 active warnings. The first active warning is over northern portions of Brunswick County. That's a storm that that's a storm that we've been tracking that is moving up and edging up closer to the Wilmington area. And we've been also tracking that possible water spout to tornado scenario. There it is right there. It is on land right now, just north and east of Seabreeze. And so you can kind of clearly see that signature in coastal New Hanover County, a possible tornado here moving off to the north at around 20. And then again, this is sort of the big cell here that is now about 1 mile to 2 miles from the Wilmington area.
Yeah, I would say both are very important to keep eyes on, but the one just to the west of Wilmington showing the possible debris is certainly the one. We can take a look at the sky cam.
Let's go live to the sky cam.
Seeing the winds from that as that cell races its way towards the Wilmington area, just south now of, let's see, this is Liberty Landing Road southeast, Jackie's Creek Lane southeast, North Old Town southeast, Moore Campbell Boulevard making its way towards Highway 17 and Highway 76 near the Belleville area, just to the west of Wilmington.
And so what we're looking at now, our folks are turning that camera a little bit more to the north and to the west. And so we think there's a good chance this circulation is going to pass along and just to the west of the city of Wilmington, right along the Cape Fear River. The winds are going to be very, very strong with this, and you can already see it. Look how we're kind of turning that camera. Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah, the National Weather Service now has this as a radar-confirmed tornado.
Correct, and that was what we were kind of seeing.
We were talking about
associated with we were seeing that with the correlation coefficient.
Yeah.
We were seeing debris signature that was moving up and just to the southwest of the Wilmington area. Matter of fact, if we go back, let's quickly go back to Max 1 because we can go ahead and show that. Here's the circulation. It is very near the city of Wilmington, and you can see right in here, if you had to pick the pinpoint of where the signature is, Kingsworth Lane, Jockey's Creek Lane, Moore Campbell Boulevard, not too far away from Easy Hill. You need to be in your safe place. You need to be in your safe place, Woodburn. Looks like the city of Wilmington will, again, just be a little bit to the east.
Yeah, this is going to pass just to the west.
It is, and it's going to come right up in toward potentially the Belleville area. So you need to really be hunkering down and finding your safe spot as this goes across northern portions of Brunswick County. Let me quickly glance at debris signature or correlation coefficient, as we call it. Still some signature, but it's not as quite as strong.
A little bit, but not quite as bad, yeah.
Right. So we still certainly could be seeing some weak debris signature here. But as the National Weather Service has said, this was a Doppler-confirmed tornado, and it is moving off to the north at around 25 or so miles per hour. And again, kind of earlier was really easy to see on reflectivity, not quite as much so right now. And this is sort of the broad view this evening. As you can see, plenty of rain expanding across the area. So if you're in most of the Cape Fear, you're getting rain right now. This was a band that we were watching for a couple of hours that has moved on shore and then created those tornado warnings. And again, here are the warnings. Tornado warnings. I'm going to draw in the official information from the National Weather Service. And you can see the tornado warning for Brunswick County extends until 7:45 this evening. It includes Leland, Northwest, Sandy Creek, and Town Creek. So that's the official warning in Brunswick County. Then we also have that tornado warning that was associated with a cell that was coming on shore at Carolina Beach.
Yeah, we don't want to forget about that too, because still a decent looking signature, velocity signature with that cell. That is just to the east of Highway 421, to the west of Myrtle Grove Road. Right now, just south and southwest of Country Place Road, moving north at about 25 miles per hour, so likely making it towards the Myrtle Grove area, Silver Lake in the next 5 or 10 minutes, right where Highway 421 splits off with Highway 132 here in that section of New Hanover County. Right now, the rotation is just to the south of there. It hasn't shown any signs like the other cell quite yet of any potential debris with that, but still watching it very closely as it races off to the north at about 25 miles per hour like the other cell too.
So here is the possible tornado that is in coastal portions of New Hanover County. You can see it is right now between Myrtle Grove Road and Highway 421. So this is coastal portions of New Hanover County. It came ashore. It continues to move off to the north and northwest. Still a very strong signature that we are seeing rotation here. And I'm kind of zoom in as close as I can to show you the communities that are right where the possible tornado is. And it's Sanders Drive, Glen Ellen Drive, Century Oaks Drive. So it's right in here, and it's right on the 421 as it tracks off to the north and northwest. So that's where the circulation, the cell is that triggered the tornado warning for New Hanover County.
Yep.
And it is tracking off to the north. The other, which we have been watching very closely, is the one that's over northern portions of Brunswick County. Thankfully, this tracked a couple of miles to the west of the Wilmington area right now. You can see it's between Woodburn and Navassa, tracking off to the north at around 25 miles per hour. Let's put a storm track on that because it's going to be heading into far northwest portions of New Hanover County into Pender County. And let's go ahead and put a track on that.
And that's the cell lead that at one point had the debris showing up on it. So even though it's broadened out right now, it could very easily tighten up just as quickly as it did earlier.
And all of these cells this evening so far have done that, Matthew. They've been tightening up. They at times have broadened out or weakened, in other words. And then the rotation kind of tightened back up. And so it's been a very busy couple of hours tracking a tornado and in some cases radar-confirmed tornadoes across the area.
We've had a few of those.
But the cell right now that is just to the west of the Wilmington area, moving near Navassa at about 741, 813 up toward Long Creek. So now we're talking about it getting all the way up in Pender County. And then toward Highsmith at about 818. So this circulation, perhaps not quite as well organized as it was 10 or 15 minutes ago in terms of looking at the overall rotation, but it still has to be taken very seriously. And if you are in that tornado warning area, you need to go ahead and be in your safe place.
Yeah, just because Wilmington missed this one cell to the west, that one cell down in southern sections of New Hanover County, it's tracking in the general direction of downtown Wilmington if it holds together over the next little bit. Just to the west right now of Myrtle Grove, on the other side of Highway 421, just east of Morris or Mott's Village, just south of Silver Lake Road, moving right towards Silver Lake right now.
So let's take a sort of a look back here at what is causing all of these rain bands and tornadoes. So we have what is a tropical storm, Idalia, and it is moving into the low country of South Carolina, and it is spreading a lot of moisture and a lot of rain our way. It has been a very active afternoon and evening. This is sort of the broad picture. Look at the circulation. As we mentioned, it's kind of going out of southeast Georgia into South Carolina, and notice what we've been seeing are these bands of showers and thunderstorms that have been forming over the water. So we often talk about, feeder bands as they move to the north. Those potentially, as there's a lot of shear in place, and if there's enough instability, they can start to rotate. And we saw some of that rotation over the waters. That main band has come through Brunswick County, and it's now over northern Brunswick County. It has triggered I think it's 5 tornado warnings we've had total so far.
I believe so.
And so we've had these occasional areas of rotation, and they'll probably at least continue for another, maybe hour, 2 hours as they move to the north. And so we're kind of seeing these areas of rotation that at times have shown solid debris signatures on the radar.
Yeah, and the good news is from that radar composite you were showing is the fact that it looks like a lot of the immediate threat offshore is kind of dwindling down for now, but still right on land, places like New Hanover County, just to the south and southeast of Wilmington, near the Myrtle Grove area. We saw that tornado warning with debris signatures just to the west of Wilmington earlier on today. So really watching 3 areas of rotation. Some of it is on the broader side, some of it is tighter. I think the tightest rotation right now would be that area just to the west of Silver Lake near River Road, Endurance Trail, just south of Appleton Way, Botsford Court, and Echo Farms Boulevard, just to the west of Highway 421 near Carolina Beach Road.
That is correct. The two main areas of rotation that we're watching right now, and I would agree completely with Matthew. You can see, and it's near the Silver Lake area right now. So if you're in Silver Lake, that possible tornado is near you. And these are some of the towns and some of the communities, or pardon me, some of the roads that are being impacted. And you can see River Road and toward Appleton Way. It's approaching your area if you're in Appleton Way, even up toward Independence Boulevard and the St. Andrews Drive, Matteo area. This is where the rotation is occurring, moving to the north and also to the northwest at around 20 to 25 miles per hour. This is the other circulation we've been tracking for 20 or 25 minutes, Matthew, and it is now sort of broadened out a little bit. Certainly could still be causing some problems, but
and I believe that was the cell that was supposed to expire at 7:45.
Okay,
so potentially, if they don't extend it, it could expire in the next minute or so.
So these are the current warnings we have in place. They include northern portions of Brunswick County associated with the cell that we were just talking about between Navassa and Leland. We also have tornado warnings that are in effect for a good bit of western New Hanover County associated with that cell that came on shore. Moved to the north, it was more or less a waterspout to tornado scenario there, still showing pretty solid signatures, as you just said, that it is rotating. It was near the Silver Lake area, moving to the north and northwest. Let's take a live look at the city of Wilmington at this hour. And so right now, city of Wilmington, you are under a tornado warning. We do not have a cell, at least at this moment, that is impacting the city of Wilmington, but we're closely watching that rotation near the Silver Lake area. As it is tight, and it could certainly be, as it moves to the north and northwest, approaching the city. Again, near Silver Lake right now, and there it is. Matthew has kind of zoomed in on it.
Yeah, just to the west of Appleton Way, north of Endurance Trail, east of Watercraft-Berry Avenue near River Road, just to the west of Carolina Beach Road, Highway 421, and not quite as tight as it was just a bit ago, but potentially still seeing some debris possible with that cell as it makes its way very close now to Independence Boulevard, Sunnydale Drive, and pushing off to the north towards the city of Wilmington at about 25 miles per hour.
Okay, so right now we have one tornado warning that's in effect. The one that was initially over central and northern parts of Brunswick County has now been allowed to expire. The one that you were mentioning expires at 7:45. Looks like that has been allowed to expire. So here's what we have at this hour. Tornado warning in effect, Carolina Beach, or let's refresh this because I think that has been updated. Let me double check this. So here's the tornado warning. The one warning we have left, let me refresh this.
That warning is now into effect until 8 p.m.
Correct. So we have a tornado warning, this one warning. So it includes a portion of the city of Wilmington. It includes Leland. It also includes northern portions of Brunswick County. So right along essentially the Cape Fear River. It covers western portions of New Hanover County, includes northeastern portions of Brunswick County, and it's going to go for about another 15 minutes. And it is due to that circulation we're tracking that was near Silver Lake and that is moving off to the north right now to around, well, it's northwest. So I would just go ahead and say northwest. Northwest at around 25 miles per hour. So it's radar indicated rotation according to the National Weather Service. And again, a dangerous storm, and we have to take these storms very seriously tonight. I know we've been on the air a while tonight, and we've had multiple areas that have shown rotation. So far, you know, we're kind of trying to keep an eye on what we call NWS chat for information related to any damage.
We did get one report earlier on. This was some structural damage observed along Highway 211 near St. James from, I think, that second tornado warning of the night.
Okay. And so this is where we're at right now, and you can see broad view of Storm Track 3 Doppler radar, and let's put everything in motion. If you're watching us right now, southern portions of Brunswick County, you have seen improving weather over the past 30 minutes or so as you're getting dry weather there. It's extending into central Brunswick County. It's northern Brunswick County, New Hanover County, and this is all moving into Pender County. But we have additional rains also in portions of Columbus County and Bladen County. County, all associated with what is Tropical Storm Idalia that continues to spread lots and lots of moisture our way. Tornado watches are up. In addition to the one warning, tornado watches are up until 10 o'clock this evening. It includes Columbus County, Brunswick County, New Hanover County, and Pender County. So additional areas of rotation are possible over the next several hours as this banding and this feature comes in. You know, it's absolutely pouring here at the station.
At the very least, seeing very heavy rain across much of the Cape Fear over the next several hours. That one warning right now, but otherwise still seeing very heavy rain across Columbus County, Bladen County, Pender County. So these storms, because it is now getting dark, harder to see the cells, the potential tornadoes as they kind of rotate their way through.
And, you know, one of my concerns always is tornadoes at night. And in addition, you know, having multiple ways to get warnings is really an important feature. We talk about this a lot, but, you know, there's multiple ways you can get warnings. One feature is the WWAY free Storm Track 3 weather app. If you're watching us tonight, download that, put that on your phone. You can set the notifications. You can watch storms. It'll alert you if warnings are issued for your area. It even gives you lightning strikes and various things. NOAA Weather Radio, National Weather Service issues these warnings that are in place for the area, which we do have one additional warning right now. And the concern tonight are the isolated tornadoes, Matthew. The concern is very heavy rain. We could get areas of flooding due to this heavy rain as Idalia moves closer to the area tonight. In addition to that, the possibility is these winds get up later tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to see some isolated to perhaps even scattered power outages. This might be an issue later tonight into tomorrow morning as this storm comes up the coast. But the reason we did cut in earlier and we continue to stay on the air is for tornado warnings. It is for emergency weather information. And you can see, again, this one warning that's in effect right in western portions of New Hanover County, eastern Brunswick County. Now let's go ahead and get right on in. And I got to say, a little bit of good news right now. I feel like this particular, you know, water spout that produced, that came on shore, had the strong rotation, came across Carolina Beach and Seabreeze and Silver Lake. I feel like that's weakened quite a bit.
Yeah, it's really weakened over the past, say, 10 or 15 minutes. Very strong signature offshore of that potential water spout holding its own as it raced its way across portions of New Hanover County, but over the past little bit kind of weakening as it's made its way towards the western portions of the county and just south and southwest of downtown Wilmington itself.
So the other area of circulation is, I've kind of drawn in here the rotation around between the Leland area and Phoenix, and it's broad. So there is some broad rotation here, moving off to the north, and it is going to be heading toward southern Pender County over the next 15 or so minutes. So we're watching that area of weak rotation, watching, of course, that area that was coming up across southern New Hanover County, which has weakened as well. So I would go ahead and say there is a little bit of good news as we look at velocities over the past 5 minutes. I do feel like, at least for the moment, these circulations are weakening, but I still want everybody to keep their guard up. If you're watching us at home and you see this tornado warning, that's in effect until 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, that's the one.
So we want you to go ahead and stay in your safe place until this warning is allowed to expire. And we'll see if there are any more, cells.
For now, that's the only one. At one point, seeing 3 warnings at one time, but as of right now, that is set to expire in the next 7 or 8 minutes. And as Lee has continued to say, really kind of weakening over the past 10 or 15 minutes, but we've seen these cells kind of broaden out and just as quickly spin up really quickly once again.
And so this is a look. Let's kind of examine the Cape Fear and look to the south. Certainly, there is more rain band activity to our south. So we're not done. As this moves through this evening, we will have more rain. We'll potentially have more rain bands that come up from the south as we head into the late evening hours, into the overnight. Steadiest, heaviest rain is inland areas. You can kind of see over the central portions of the Carolinas, more or less Bladen County, Columbus County, also Pender County to this point, has just sort of seen some steadier downpours. But we're watching over the waters, and we're kind of seeing not too much, at least initially, behind Brunswick County. So there's going to be a little bit of a break that comes in for an hour or two, and then we'll see what happens and evolves later this evening.
Yeah, we were still talking about the actual center of circulation with Idalia itself. It is still several hundred miles to the south and the southwest of the Cape Fear. It has slowly started that northeasterly turn after making landfall earlier on this morning. Is a very strong Category 3 hurricane across the Big Bend section of Florida, racing off to the north and the northeast, and now slowly starting to make its way towards the north and the northeast and offshore. But like you said, still the threat of tornadoes over the next several hours, very strong winds and very heavy rain until Idalia makes its way off the coast over the next 12 hours or so. Still not out of the woods quite yet.
That is absolutely right. And so let's take, we're kind of summarizing things. We're at 7:54. We've got a tornado warning up until 8 o'clock this evening. And if that doesn't get extended, then we'll get a little bit of a break. But tropical storm warning is in effect for the entire area overnight and into tomorrow morning. Kind of want to summarize some of those watches and warnings. So tropical storm warning, we're going to see tropical storm force winds likely develop later tonight and continue into tomorrow morning. So really we're sort of past the time to kind of get some items out of the yard and kind of for debris. I guess you can get out there if you still have some debris, then get blown around and get it up. But again, tonight and tomorrow morning, we could easily see gusts of wind 40 to even 50 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So with all of the rain expected and with those gusty winds and tropical storm warnings, it's certainly possible that we could begin to see some isolated to scattered power outages as we go through the night into tomorrow morning. We have flood watches that are in effect. This is in effect for the entire area. This is from tonight all the way through tomorrow. Main area of rain comes through tonight into tomorrow morning. Rainfall amounts could be as much as 3 to 7 inches. So we're talking about, a hefty amount of water that's going to be dropped in a short period of time that could cause flooding. And that's one of the many reasons we're kind of giving folks asking them, hey, stay at home tonight if you can.
Yeah, it's not the best night whatsoever to be outside.
If you don't have to be out tonight, don't, because we have the risk for these spin-up tornadoes. We have the risk for flooding rain. We have the risk for, quite honestly, trees, when you start getting these kind of winds, can blow over. And I have seen sad examples of trees getting blown over and harming people. So you just don't want to be on the roads. You don't want to be in that situation. But flood watch is in effect, and this is for tonight into tomorrow morning. And again, just as we've been seeing for the past several hours, Storm Prediction Center maintaining a tornado watch in effect for Columbus County, Brunswick, New Hanover, and Pender County. This is going to be until 10 o'clock this evening. Let's go to Matthew and kind of take a look at some velocities if we can. Yeah,
over the past little bit, Lee, we've kind of seen all those velocities we were watching really begin to broaden out. We saw one in eastern sections of Brunswick County that has now kind of begun to broaden out in nature. The one in southwestern sections of New Hanover County also doing the same. So really right now, not seeing anything too indicative of a tornado signature, which is certainly some good news with that. The National Weather Service has not updated us quite yet, but the latest warning that goes into effect, or that lasts until 8 p.m. still in effect for the next 3 minutes or so.